But this is looking incredible. We're very close into Saint-Devote. Welcome to what is the jewel in the crown for any Formula 1 season as we go racing at the iconic streets of Monte Carlo in our Pierluigi Martini and Minardi tribute season. Last time out we showed some amazing pace in Imola where we scored our first points with a P4 finish. This time I fear we won't be as quick, so I am only aiming for a top 10 as overtaking will be notoriously difficult, so we kind of have to rely on mistakes and reliability issues for the others to make up some ground. The actual 1991 race was won by Ayrton Senna, of course, while our man Martini had an underwhelming one, finishing 6 laps down in P12, last of all finishers. This does still bode well as that means more than half of the starters retired, so there is still hope even though we are only starting 14th. Further down the grid, it is the first appearance of Michele Alboreto for the footwork team, while we're missing Martin Brundle in this race, who didn't make the cut in qualifying, just as the two Lamborghinis. Well, and here we are now on the grid, waiting for the green light to start our race in Monaco, the most anticipated but also the most feared Grand Prix of them all for me this season. And it's getting very slow into Saint-Devote. We have to take a bit of care because there is one of the LaRouche Lolas behind us, or what was alongside us even. I think that is Eric Bernard. Oh, as past the casino we go, and past the Ligier as well. They were all very slow, so we took our chance around the outside, locking the front tires a bit. We need to be very careful with that. That has cost us a good result in Brazil already. As we are now passing the Louvre's hairpin through Portier for the first time, as we're now just behind the Jordan of Andrea De Cesaris, just ahead of us. Too far back to try any move into the Nouvelle chicane here. And then past the harbour we go through Tabac, swimming pool. Very careful we have to take these corners because the car still is a bit nervous under throttle. That was an issue that I have already pointed out in Brazil, something that I realized there. And Monaco leaves absolutely no margin for error. Some would even say it also leaves no margin for overtaking because, yeah, look at it here. I mean, that was very latent daring on the brakes and we were not even remotely close to try anything into Saint-Devote. This is a bit of proof that it wasn't even better in the past. I mean, people these days complain that the cars are too big, but honestly I don't think that is the issue with Monaco. Even with those smaller cars, overtaking was nearly impossible. You still saw a few more overtakes than you do nowadays, but I'm pretty sure this is actually down to the difference in pace these cars have. As we have a little look against the Jordan there, and I lock my front right, and you can immediately see in the bottom right corner that that had a negative effect on that tire already. But back on topic, as I was saying, the pace discrepancy back in those days was much bigger. It was not unusual for a midfield car to be over 1 second slower over a lap compared to the very top of the grid. So that is why races may have been a bit more entertaining or different back then. But yeah, I wasn't able to move past that Jordan as we are now already in lap 7. And it is a bit of a very old school Monaco race. Actually, I didn't even mind that much because I think it will be possible to overtake, but you have to kind of find the weaknesses of the car ahead, or the AI in this case. And I think one is just past the casino. They're very slow there. This is where I had a little look. Then, of course, moves happen. We were briefly alongside, but this is just not possible to make a move there unless you barge someone out of the way. Then the run out of Portier through the tunnel, as you were able to see here, is not so much my strength. So Nouvelle Chicane, pretty much the prime overtaking spot, if there is such a thing at Monaco, seems not possible for us. Also that bit here by the harbour to back swimming pool, this is not where I'm really quick, so the AI is gaining on me there. However, through Rascals, I take a bit of a different line. There might be an opportunity if I can be very, very early in the throttle, or there is something happening for those ahead to get my car alongside and then just pull through Anthony Nose. Not possible in this case, though. And so we have to remain another lap looking at that Jordan rear wing that will haunt me in my dreams. But look at that. The Chazaris is also having a little look there, trying to get past the Delarov. I think this is JJ Lechto this time. We're very, very close out of the exit here, and into Mirabeau we get a wheel alongside. We're still alongside, but we're kind of relying now on the Jordan to back out of this one, and we finally make it past and up into P12. Here is a replay of that move. It was all down to that good exit, because this time we were actually close enough to try and get our car alongside, and then, yeah, I think he had to yield there to avoid the collision, because I was a tad ahead and on the racing line. So, yeah, that is one move done, but that won't really help us much, because we will still be stuck behind the Dallara just ahead of us. JJ Lechto, the Finn. But this is looking incredible. We're very close into Saint-Devote, and we're past. Well, you can hear the relief there. Crazy. No! Oh my word. Thought that was it. And that was almost it, as I was a bit late there on the brakes, almost making contact with the Armco, and here you can see it. He didn't have a good exit on to the start-finish straight, and then we were close enough and brave enough to brake later alongside into Saint-Devote and pass and up into P11 we are. Remember, the goal is to finish in the top 10, and we are very close to this. However, we have the next situation where a Dallara is holding everyone up. In this case, this is the Tyrrell of Stefano Modena that is now between us and the Dallara. Again, it looks like we could try something into Mirabeau if we get a good exit in the corner ahead. And then, well, I guess that is pretty much it. Or at least it looks like it so far. This time we get a bit of a better exit out of Portier, so we were a bit closer into the Nouvelle Chicane. If I manage to somehow maximize my exit out of there, then there might even be a chance into the Nouvelle Chicane, because this is the circuit's heaviest overtaking zone. There is a bit of flat out running there, there is a bit of slipstream you be getting, and we know of our good straight line speed with the V12 in our back, and holy smokes, what's going on there? There was a lapped car kind of stuck at Anthony Nose, and now there's a Ferrari and Benetton who are just ahead of the Dallara of Emmanuel Pirro. We could see them now. It was Julian Bailey that was stuck there in Anthony Nose and caused a bit of trouble for those trying to lap him. So yeah, we're now also inside of Alesi and Roberto Moreno, right? It should be Roberto Moreno. Well, they were able to get away from Modena and Pirro, however. So this Italian trio continues to run on its own here. And still, lap 16 already. Again, another rear wing that will haunt me in my dreams. Oh, maybe I should buy a brown Razor by now. Who knows? Well, we continue our race here. Through the tunnel we go. And this time, look at that. The slipstream was kicking in, but it's just not long enough, that bit of track there. So, yeah, it's getting a bit frustrating now, but still. This is how a race in Monaco would usually be. There is just no, I can go quicker than them, I'll just pass them. You have to wait for either a mistake or somehow find a place where you're so much quicker than the car that you're competing against that you can make it through. And again, these Alaras are kind of moving roadblocks here. They had good qualifying results, but now that means that they are in the way of faster cars. And I think we can count ourselves to that faster car group. Oh, that was a weird sentence. However, look at that. I'm trying to take an alternate line there already. And oh, I got a wheel alongside, but very late. Luckily, Modena sees it, but no chance this time, yeah. You were able to see there by my reaction. The frustration is there. That was a desperate move. And that was never going to work. Again, through the tunnel, we might be a bit closer. We're getting a very good run here. And now, what does desperation do to a man? There we go, very late on the brakes. We didn't make contact there with Modena, and we are fully alongside and passed now. No, fully ahead and passed now. Now the swimming pool. This is the section where I'm really struggling with that car because it gets very loose through to bucket the swimming pool, so I'm not too confident. But we managed to stay ahead, and now let's look at that move again in a replay, because you don't see too many moves in Monaco, so you have to celebrate each and every one of them. And there it is. Actually, it was a very late decision there to go for the move. That is, I think, as clean as you can overtake anyone there. Now again, the last time, it didn't take us long to get past the Delara. How will it be this time? Well, again, we're a lot quicker than Delara in most sections, so already I may see my opportunity there. Oh, he even has a poor exit, Emanuele Pirro. Down the inside, into Mirabeau we go, and pass. That was, well, as straightforward as anything can be in Monaco. You can see in my rear mirror, he's still there, but there's just no chance to try anything around here. And now, we're just 6.8 seconds behind Roberto Moreno in the Benetton, and let's see if we can actually keep up with them, because, you know, it's 1991, reliability is a thing, so maybe, just maybe, there is an outside chance to slip somehow at least close to the points. We are on target right now, we are 9th, and, oh, I'm pushing a bit too much through the swimming pool here, almost spin the car. The wheel was standing long there, which won't have been good for it. Pirro again alongside, but at least we stay ahead. Now, it's a thing, I think there is a bit of damage to the front wing. I can't really see it here, but the most important thing is the suspension should still be fine. It's only the front aero that may be a bit damaged. Usually that causes a bit more drag in Automobilista too, so we'll be slower in a straight line, which won't be good for overtaking. And maybe also the cornering won't be as ideal anymore either. Well, and we jump ahead in time once more, lap 23, and I think you can clearly see that I'm not as fast as I was before, because look in my rear mirror, we weren't able to get away from Pirro and Modena, and I think quite clearly we should at least have been able to get away from Pirro earlier, before that silly contact. but this is what I was talking about earlier. The car was very loose through swimming pool. I tried to push a bit too much because I was so motivated to be now past these slower cars, and I immediately messed it up that way. So yeah, I think now it is just waiting, hoping for cars to retire. And you can see we are now 9th of 25 cars, so one has actually retired. And we see that in Brazil, it took quite some time, but when the first one retired, it wasn't long until others followed. And I think there we had, was it 15, 16 finishes? So yeah, there still is a chance, maybe for some high-profile retirements. We don't know yet. We just have to be patient, wait, and see what's going on. I'm still trying to do my best with the material that I've got and that I've damaged myself. And this is now a big crash. And yeah, that... Gee, Pyro makes contact as well. And that is race ending. To be honest, I'm not sure what happened there. It might have been an error on my side, but I feel there was like a micro lag that somehow opened the steering wheel, and that yeah, led now to my retirement. But interestingly, you were just able to see there, Nigel Mansell from the race lead has come in there. No, that's actually Mark Blondell, but Mansell's come in at the end of the pit lane. You can see him to retire from the race lead. So Williams' flawless season comes to an end here, and this is what happened to Riccardo Patrese then later on. So Patrese, while trying to lap at Jordan, also out of the race, and that left Ayrton Senna, who made it through that chaos that happened there at the swimming pool, to win the Monaco Grand Prix 1991. And he did do so by finishing ahead of his teammates, so it is a McLaren 1-2 ahead of Nelson Piquet, who takes the first podium for Benetton. And this is also huge news for the Drivers' Championship, because that now means Ayrton Senna has taken the lead there ahead of Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese. We drop down to 9th, remember, our goal is to finish in the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors' Championship, with that 1-2, McLaren take the lead, 2 points ahead of Williams Renault. Jordan still in third because of the best result so far. Benetton and Ferrari equal on points, just behind Jordan on countback. And Minardi is the final team that has already scored, thanks to a good result in Imola. So we're still sitting in 6th there. And that has been it for the Monaco Grand Prix 1991. The next race will be across the ocean, when we will be racing at Canada at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. Subscribe to not miss that, leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and I hope to see you all the next time. Until then, goodbye!